And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, a Monday, the week of Christmas. Are you guys all ready for Santa Claus? Are you ready? You prepared? Paul, you look like you're ready.
Ho, ho,
ho. Merry Christmas.
That's right.
It's once a year we get to talk about the jolly old fat man and not have to look in the mirror thinking somebody's talking trash on us. So let's talk about what day it is. Being that we're in a joyous mood, I guess you could say, let's talk about National Humbug Day and what that means,
Where's
gentlemen
Billy?
And ladies at home. Dude, come on! The day is an excellent time to express our Scrooginess and also take stock of our expectations. Perhaps there's more room to simplify this holiday and lessen our load. When we do, we might find a way to replenish our joy and spread a little too. Make sure you use Humbug Day or hashtag Humbug Day to post on social media. It's our time, guys, that we get to acknowledge the Ebenezers, the Scrooges, the Grinches, and of course my favorite, the curmudgeons of the people who take and suck the joy out of the holiday season. So, with that being said, who is your favorite humbug character in your life? Quinn? Perfect segue right to you.
Other than myself, he'd probably Poe or Billy, honestly. Billy is my favorite one on Sundays. Poe's my favorite one on Saturdays because I can't stand Notre Dame now. And I guess I'm the favorite for myself the rest of the time.
Why is it that you like playing the Grinch card? The curmudgeon card. You're not really a curmudgeon.
Easier when you're
Billy is a curmudgeon.
It's just easier. I've grown up being a Browns fan, so naturally my Mondays stink. Tuesdays are bad. Wednesdays I'm kind of over it, and then Thursday I have to start looking forward to the Browns again, and that just lets me down. So. Just easier to be negative.
Even at 10 and 4, you're still pouty about
Hey, I'm not the one complaining. I'm happy. Baker's playing well. I'm not complaining. We're in the playoffs, kind of. I don't know.
Not yet. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Oh, speaking of curmudgeons, look what showed up.
My shirt's the same color as your beard.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
You know, I'm not even going to tell you that Poe was singing that in the exact same tone right before his show.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Welcome to... Thanks, Paul. I'm just not going to send any text messages out and say, please don't swear on this show. It's been shared by public.
People say that all the time.
Yeah, like bad people. People that... Whatever. Ty, please help us.
I mean, yeah, Q kind of stole my thunder, but it's Billy Mack. He's my favorite... Ebenezer Scrooge. I mean, he always, there's those people that always find the light in every situation. Billy Mack is the opposite. He finds something that there's wrong with something. But I mean, he's a very glass half empty type of guy. I understand that he's a perfectionist, so I get where that's coming from. But yeah, Billy Mack's definitely my favorite Scrooge.
Look at this. Yeah, Coach Seidel nailed it. We are starting a Power Hour swear jar. That's and all the proceeds we'll fill it up till about $200, and then the proceeds will go to charity because Paul's going to fill it up half by himself.
Just on
What's that?
Just on Tuesdays.
Just on Tuesdays, yeah.
Just on Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tuesdays.
F word's going to be an easy 50 or a 20. It's got to be a 20.
Wow.
20's probably good.
And
then everything else is like $1. $5?
$5.
You really are a cheap ass, aren't you?
Yeah.
$1 payout.
All right, let's go to Paul. Who is your favorite humbug character?
Oh man, I gotta sit up here. Sorry about that. I mean, most of the time, be honest with you, like most of the time, like Quinn is just like so like blah. He's just like oatmeal. He's just real like just plain, and it's like, But then like,
what's wrong with oatmeal, Paul?
Then all of a sudden, you get Billy over here, who just is Billy's a fun mad person. That's what I enjoy because like I can get fired up sometimes too, and like Billy just like snap goes. He's just like but he's always like just like glass half full, like Ty said, is a great example. Like sometimes Billy just needs to smile. Billy, it's okay.
He's so mad right now about something. Like
Probably because
I
we're
don't
all
know.
like throwing the dirt on him, and
He's mad
He wants-
Baker played well.
That's exactly what it is. Good call. Let's get to Jamie Thompson. Who's your favorite humbug guy or gal?
Well, I'll stay away from Billy, and I'll go to the guy that usually sits to my left on Saturdays and Sundays. It's my father. We're watching the Ohio State game, and I got to tell you, it was rough because he was just laying into them because they weren't playing well in the first half. And then he got my mom fired up. So I turned to my mom. I was like, hey, you got to chill out for me because I can't deal with both of you right now. Like, someone's got to stay calm with me. Same thing happened during the Cowboys game. Just thought we were going to blow it the whole time. He used to be so positive. I don't know what it is. Apparently, you just hit a certain age and everything just goes.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
25.
25? My goodness. You got it better than any of us, Q. Any of us. And
Yeah,
Bartel's
I'm-
in prison.
I'm in my mother's basement. Yeah, it's really great. Living the life over here.
it looks like there's a lot of room down there.
Some people start businesses out of their basement, and some people start businesses out of their parents' basement. So there you go. Expectation set,
Yeah.
according to my reliable sources. Let's go ahead with this because this ought to be entertaining. Billy Mack, floor is yours. Your favorite humbug.
Gotta be Emil Berlini. He's my they call him the angry elf. So he's got to be it. There's always a he hit today, but he stinks. Or hey, he threw well today, but he stinks. Or the Browns will never win a game because they stink. Yeah, it sounds familiar. I understand, but it's not me.
I think you've been spending too much time with Emil.
It's a possibility.
I'm thinking that's because everything you said, like,
Sounds like you.
it just like you in your tone, incredible.
But a lot of it is facts, though. Come on.
I don't know. You had that little jab last night. You were bickering back and forth about the Browns, which we'll get to in a little bit. But I gotta. I mean, as a Steeler fan, Billy, you had to be impressed with Baker Mayfield last night,
Yeah.
but still no love.
Leading into it. This is where we're going right now.
Why not?
All right, come on. Here's the deal. All right, I'm super
trick.
excited that we're 10-4. Okay, like nothing. I'm so excited that we are. Like we're winning games. We're competitive because it wasn't but 4 years ago where we just were a joke. Okay, but at the same time, let's not sit here and act like this guy's going out here being Patrick Mahomes, which is what a lot of idiotic Browns fans are starting to compare him to Russell Wilson. He's not. He's not an MVP guy. Chill out. Shut up. Chill. Okay? Yes, he's winning football games. He's beating the Giants and the Jets and the Jets and the Jets and all these bad teams. So let's not sit here and act like this guy's going out there throwing darts against, I don't know, Pittsburgh. Because the last time he threw a pass to Pittsburgh, he threw a slant route to Fitzpatrick, who took him to the house. Chill out there a little bit. He's playing great. We're winning football games.
Bus doors
We're
are
not-
closed.
we're
This
not-
page. Here's my thing. Here's the trick.
Here's the trick.
When he played against Tennessee, I made every excuse in the book, and I said, because I don't want to believe in the guy. Like, I like him. Like him to the fact where I just, like, caught myself buying a Baker Mayfield jersey, and I was like, whoa, pump the brakes. What are you doing?
That's
Right.
all I want to do. Just want to pump the brakes on. That's it.
No,
That's all I
no.
want to do.
But here's the thing, Billy. He's proving me wrong every week, and I'm admitting to it. This is my confession. Baker Mayfield is a really good quarterback, and I am really nervous about the future because Cleveland's going to be a contender if they're not already. And I got to be honest with you, watching him sling the pigskin last night, throw the rock, I was like, ew, boy, this isn't good, because he was completing passes he had no business completing. No business. And he was swagging.
Okay, I'm looking at Seidel's comment. Listen, he's still got a QBR of under 40 when there's a blitz.
You could always find a stat for any player, though.
I mean, look at guys like you talk about the upper echelon guys. Those guys that you talk about, those top 5 guys, they're really good under pressure. Not Baker.
That's not necessarily true.
Why would you not?
2 of the best quarterbacks in our generation were terrible under pressure.
No, I'm talking about like under the blitz. Who?
Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Terrible. Awful.
Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, if you look at under the blitz throw, they torch you.
You have no idea. You have zero.
I'm talking about just from pass completions to touchdowns under the pressure, under blitz, dominate. It's not the fact that they're not athletic. Who cares if they're not athletic? As long as they get rid of the football to the right guy. Baker's not completing passes when there's blitzes.
What happens when the blitz happens? And Peyton Manning's my favorite quarterback of all time. What happens when they blitz Peyton Manning and they get through? Any idea? Do you remember what happens?
He releases the ball to a guy and they score. Yes.
False.
Yes.
Anybody want to take a guess at what happens to Peyton Manning?
He got sacked or he threw.
He crumbles to the ground on his own. He literally just falls down and takes the sack.
All you got to do is go look at the stats. It's QBR when he's being blitzed. He torches you. Those guys torch you.
And what's his QBR and what's his completion percentage, especially last night when he's got time to throw?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
He's the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, he's fantastic when he has 5 to 7 seconds to throw the ball.
He had
which
5
is what most
quarterbacks last night. He was 27 for 32.
Yeah, dude, he was at 84 and the highest completion percentage in Browns history since ever.
And I'm sorry, and I mean talking about it like from an unbiased perspective, and but I mean like looking at guys like Tom Brady and how elite the Patriots were for so many years. Both Tom Brady and Bill Belichick constantly would say, too, it doesn't matter who you play. Anyone beats anyone at any given week. Winning football games is hard in the NFL. So it doesn't matter what kind of schedule they have. If you win 10 games in the NFL, that's a pretty good football team. I mean, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter.
I'm not taking anything away from the Browns winning. Listen, you're getting it all wrong. This is the problem that everybody has with me is they think that I'm really bashing the Browns. I'm not. I'm not bashing the Browns. This is fantastic. Problem I have is that stop putting Baker in a top 5 category, you stupid Browns fans, because he's not. He's an average quarterback playing pretty well right now.
I don't think that anybody ever put him in top 5.
They are. Trust me, go on there. They are. These clowns out here are out here thinking Baker is God's gift because they haven't seen a winning record since, I don't know, Jesus was walking the earth.
Well, let's be honest, though. It's not like you've had a slew of great quarterbacks or above-average quarterbacks to choose from over the last 21 years.
I agree.
So take it while you got it, brother. Take it while you got it.
It's not that I'm not. It's just when you see all these clowns out here going, Baker's the top 5. He's Russell Wilson. He's this. He's Peyton Manning. He's the second coming. Oh, stop it.
I don't think he's Peyton Manning. I don't think anybody had ever confused Baker Mayfield with Peyton Manning. I think
they're out there.
Well,
and they're hitting me up on Facebook and Twitter.
I wonder why, though. I wonder why. Because they're 10-4, and Baker's the face of it, and you hate Baker Mayfield, and you are on a public forum.
I do not hate Baker. I just think he stinks. I don't have a problem with him, personally.
If I remember correctly, I also remember Russell Wilson. The first few years he came into the league, no one thought he was as good as he was. It was only in the last couple of years where people started really recognizing Russell Wilson as this really good quarterback, when before that, no one was giving him any sort of acknowledgement, despite him consistently being pretty good year in and year out.
Here's Bailey. The only person I've ever heard put Baker in a top 5 category was Billy and his, quote, friends. These people telling him this must be Jim, Jack, and Jose. I've never heard anybody put Baker in top 5. I would argue that all day. Is he elite this year? He's borderline. I'm going to be honest. Because without him,
good. He's not a great quarterback. He's playing good.
Great is relative. If I'm a Browns fan, he's great. Because guess what? You have longed for this day. You've longed for this moment for years.
Yeah, you've never had a great quarterback probably since what? Testaverde.
Kozar? Testaverde, I wouldn't even say it was great.
Derek Anderson was fantastic.
Mark Roth saying, Mac, let the Christmas spirit bring some love for Baker. He's getting better every week. Still work to do. And I agree with that. But, my man.
Back up the truck.
Yeah, that's Anthony. He's gone. Love Mac, but his argument against Baker is literally the opposite of his against Ben. Not this season. The logic is hard to follow. I agree. I agree. It's a little bit backwards, Mac. A little bit backwards. He had 3 coaches / play callers. What did you expect him to do? Stefanski and Baker are finally
Oh, okay, there's some more excuses there. Go ahead.
Stefanski is
There we go.
riding the hot hand. Excuses for what?
Oh, here we had 3 coaches. Let's put the pity party. Look at
Freddie
this.
Kitchen is
He
awful.
had this. He had that. He had. I mean, nobody's had the talent he's had.
What? Who? What?
Not too many quarterbacks in the NFL have the talent around him as Baker does.
What? Jarvis Landry and a bunch of dudes from Michigan?
Jarvis Landry, OBJ,
No.
all these tight ends, the Joku. You got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. How many offenses have that type of talent around them?
Would you
Patrick
trade
Mahomes.
Matthew Stafford for Baker Mayfield?
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
I'd take
From a
Stafford.
Lions standpoint,
I would take just as a talent. Not talking about their age or anything like that. I would take that talent.
Here's Josh Scott saying Juju and AB. I'm a Steeler fan. I don't think Juju's that good.
Well, we're talking. I mean, Patrick Mahomes. You got Kelsey. You got Watkins is not bad. I mean, Tyreek Hill's the fastest freaking guy in the league.
Great, you named one.
Look at all right, Green Bay.
Who do they have?
He's got
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
got
Quinn's got
Devontae
half of their
Adams.
team. Ask
Stanley
Quinn. Ask
Tonyan.
Quinn about Green Bay.
Robert Tonyan is like a top 5 or top 7 in tight ends right now in receptions.
don't
Because
forget
he's got
Darren
Rodgers
Waller.
this season. Rodgers makes tight ends good.
I don't know, man. I don't think it's about the receiver talent. I really don't. There's throws that he made last night that you just like. I was sitting there like, wow, like that touchdown to Jarvis Landry was impressive. There's not every quarterback in the league is making that throw. I mean,
No, there was 2 good throws last night. That one and the one that Mahomes threw in the back corner of the end zone too was thoroughly impressive.
well, I think we all
you
know
know-
that Mahomes is on a different level. Like, there's no argument there that if you had to take Patrick Mahomes or Baker Mayfield, I would
Yeah.
assume that 99% of people were going to take Mahomes.
But those were 2 of the top 2 throws I saw yesterday for sure. I mean, those. Even though in the thread, even Billy said, that he had a wide open tight end in front of him. I don't know how he didn't see him, but he didn't.
Oh, look,
but
double Jamie.
What is going on?
wow, look at
No
that.
idea, man. Internet kicked me out.
But he still made the throw and got the touchdown. So I mean, it was
That's-
impressive.
That's a great point, though, Paul. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it matters. I mean, you could say as much as you want about the receivers and the tight ends. You still got to make those throws. And I mean, for the fact of the matter is, the Baker the last few weeks he has been making the throws, and I mean, he's been playing really well. And I think it's because I mean, you want to say one thing or another, you could say that he's just playing well and he's not good, but I mean, that also doesn't make sense because if he's playing well, he obviously has to be talented in some degree. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just an offense that's gelled together that's finally, like, it's being put in place by Stefanski, a legit head coach for the Browns now. And I think everything's just starting to gel together right now.
I like Stefanski. I think he's a great coach for this group of Browns. I think that I think Baker's all in. He doesn't. I don't get the BS meter going off the way that I do when Roethlisberger talks or some of these other guys talk in front of the press. I think Baker kind of gives it to you straight, which I can appreciate. Listen, I don't want to be the guy that's the conductor on the Baker Mayfield train because I'm not. But I was impressed, and I've been impressed for a long time. The dude's when he came into the league, I hated him because of the way he acted, the way he conducted himself. But I'm impressed. I'm impressed. He is the future of at least somebody's team. And Browns, be careful what you wish for because Baker Mayfields and franchise quarterbacks just don't grow on trees. And enjoy it because he's going to get paid at some point. He says first option was Njoku. Buddy slipped and went to Jarvis. Another guy that I've been really impressed with is David Njoku. Like, I think, Poe's been crushing him all year for what he did in his rookie year or whatever, and all these false accusations, and the dude has grown into a really good tight end. I don't care what you say, and he's a nice number 2 tight end for you to Hooper, which still don't understand why you paid him to be the highest paid tight end in the league. Doesn't make sense to me, but it's working out for you. So
I don't know why they would pay him and then draft the best tight end. That tight end award was Bryant. Like, they drafted him in the 4th round. I don't know why they would have Njoku. They drafted him in the 1st round, then go out and draft another young guy who was arguably the best tight end in college football last year, and then bring in this guy. I just don't.
You got to remember that Njoku wanted out.
Well, he had health issues. I know that, but to pay him that much money to come, I don't know.
Fan issues is what he had. He had issues like you trashing him and saying that he can't catch because he stinks.
I don't think he was dropping tons of passes.
I do have a question, though. I don't know if anybody can clear it up to me. Why is everybody comparing quarterbacks to John Elway now?
Oh, thank you. I forgot about that.
Good. That deserve that. If I'm Baker, I don't want to be compared to John Elway. I'd rather be compared to somebody else.
I think they compare him Elway because Elway was his toughness. Like, John Elway took a beating and he still was out there.
Baker doesn't get touched. He bitches 90% of the time.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. I'm not the one out there saying it. You asked a question, I'm answering.
What they talk about is his arm strength, right? They talk about his arm strength because Elway is supposed to have this, and he did have a really, really strong arm.
Throw it through a wall.
But what was it? The Elway cross is what they always called it. But I'm with you, Quinn. Why is John Elway like the standard?
I don't want to be John Elway.
Like, he won 2 Super Bowls. Fantastic.
Yeah,
great.
Call me Tom Brady.
And I got to be honest, I could hear the entire city of Cleveland cringe whenever they compared Baker Mayfield to John Elway, because everybody remembers that one throw for John Elway. And, I mean, you remember 2 different plays.
Twice.
Well, you remember 2 plays.
The drive and the fumble, but
John Elway's career is what? John Elway's career is the Super Bowl when they spun him around, the helicopter spin, and the throw into the end zone against the Browns. That's John Elway's career. So I could hear it when Collinsworth said it last night. I went, ooh, Cleveland's going to burn down right now. And everybody who is a Baker fan is going to go, I don't want freaking John Elway on my team. Screw you, Baker. Baker stinks. Anything, Billy?
I like how we all got quiet. And
I want you to address this. Is what I want you to address, because there's a lot of people out there thinking that this is spitting facts.
Here's the deal, right?
Here's the trick.
I don't care what these people think. I'm a Browns fan. It's plain and simple. I'm not buying into the hype.
You're a cynical Browns fan. That's
there's
what you
a jersey that's got 40 quarterbacks. Okay? You guys are just jumping. I've seen this story before. I watched Derek Anderson.
Hey, Derek Anderson.
And then they started the next year another guy. Just pump the brakes.
Hey, it's because they had a good running game. I think that's what it comes down to for the Browns. I mean, Baker's playing well, but they've got a good running game. When were the Vikings good? When Stefanski was there. When they had a good running game, they had Kirk Cousins and Case Keenum under center. It really doesn't matter as much. If the Browns can't run the football, then Baker's play is obviously going to fall off.
I remember this, Chris. Elway refusing to play for the Colts when he came out in '83.
Yep.
Which was...
I remember that, too. I was alive.
Well, I don't remember that. I mean, I remember hearing about it and watching the stories. I was born in '85. And I think we probably just made a lot of people feel old, and we apologize for that. But, Paul... but the biggest thing is like, that's why a lot of people kind of got sour on Elway's when he did that. I think that's the same way as Eli Manning. And
because they thought for Elway, they thought, what a snob coming out of Stanford that he doesn't want to go play for this certain team. And then Manning's thing was just his dad. his dad controlled that whole thing. We're not going to San Diego. We're not going out west.
Do you think that's going to happen again? This
I don't
year
know
with
why. I
with
don't know why they're not. I don't know why these kids and agents are doing more of it. It can't just be about money, because you watch some of these guys like for example Lamar, right? Lamar falls into a great spot with a great team and a great organization. Somebody that knows how to kind of figure them out and take players under their wings and kind of mold around them into a good team. I don't know why quarterbacks. It can't just be about the money, because it's not really the first round. The first paycheck isn't always great. It's the second and third one that they always talk about that you can retire from, not necessarily the first one. And when the NFL came in and said, we're going to put a cap on rookie salaries, after that happened, I don't know why rookie quarterbacks aren't just saying, I'm not going to the Jets or
but
to
here's
the Jaguars.
here's the thing is they can say they're not going. The team can still draft them and have the rights.
Yep.
Right.
So they'll sit on you, and then they'll trade you for an arm and a leg. So, but they're not going to sit there and go, "Hey, we're the Jets. We're going to trade you to the Patriots for whatever," because then you got to play them twice a year.
Yeah.
So and that's what they'll end up doing.
And the New York
Right.
Jets,
But these players have a little bit more power than you think, though, too.
Sam Darnold's not the problem at the Jets. The Jets organization is their problem.
Jets don't have a problem right now in the world because they just won.
Yeah, they do. They just lost the first round. They lost the first overall pick.
I don't think that they really, really wanted Trevor Lawrence anyway. I don't. But they weren't tanking enough to me over the last few weeks to show me that they wanted Trevor Lawrence, because they had every slip and slide going down that hill, going down that path, right? They could have just let it fly, put guys on the injured reserve list. Nope.
No, they've been fighting. I mean, look, they won last night. The week before, they had to give up a terrible touchdown for the Raiders to win. I mean, it's one of those things that does Jacksonville want him though? Do the Jags want Trevor Lawrence that bad?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And they probably do need him. But that's another thing. How good is that organization? Is that organization going to get on the right track if they get a quarterback like him?
2 years out from a playoff spot?
AFC Championship
Years
game.
of an AFC Championship.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe that's a little better fit. Plus, it's
They're the
warmer
freaking
weather. And
Miami Marlins is what they are.
Shipped off everybody from that team, but
Yeah.
I remember him. I got to meet Chris over the weekend. Quinn and I both did. So, Chris, part of YS Nation, we appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us at the East Liverpool United game. But I do remember Elway was he playing for the Yankees? Like he was drafted by the Yankees?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was a good baseball player.
So I mean, was it Kyler Murray?
yeah.
Debating on draft getting Russell Wilson did
Russell
get
Wilson
drafted
too, yeah.
by the Rangers maybe.
I think
Something
didn't
like that.
Murray get drafted by the Athletics though? It was like a money thing.
Yeah, Murray was
From
in the draft.
Yeah, Murray went to camp and stuff too.
yeah.
Money talks.
was-
When you're 22-ish and a bad team drafts you, you learn to deal real quick. Here's the question, and I don't know this off the top of my head, so maybe you guys can help me out, and maybe the people out there that are watching can help us out. Is who's the last quarterback who was drafted in the top 3 that led that team to prominence? Is Baker Mayfield the only one in the last 10 years? I gotta imagine. I mean, taking your team from first overall to
Marcus
10-4.
Mariota, maybe. Tennessee make it with him,
They made it to what, the AFC Championship?
but I don't think that was with Tannehill.
Yeah, I think they made it one
Okay.
year. Yeah, they did. They made it 1 year, but they got smacked by the Patriots.
That's right, because they beat the Chiefs
Mariota.
because Mariota caught his own
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah, that was the year before. That was the year we lost to the.
What was the year
to
when Mariota
Eagles.
threw it to himself,
And-
basically?
That was it. 2
Was
years
that a
ago.
playoff year for them? He'd probably
I
be the
think
last one other than
that
Baker.
year. Yeah.
I mean, you could say Wentz did it. He got hurt.
Yeah, Carson Wentz.
Jared Goff.
Goff, yeah.
Ah, that's a good one too.
2016.
That was all the same class, though. It was Goff, Wentz.
Was Trubinsky in the? I know Trubinsky was drafted way
Wentz was
earlier than
drafted
anyone
first
said. I don't know. Was
overall.
he top
Or
3?
first or second.
Second pick, I
Third.
think.
He was the first quarterback, but he was the second or third pick.
I think he was third. Why? I don't know why 3.
Yeah.
I know the Bears
But I mean,
traded up to
they
get him.
ended up going to the playoffs like 2 years after.
Yeah, I think that I think what Baker's doing to kind of put a bow on this conversation. I think what Baker's doing is unprecedented because you look at Jared Goff. Goff has Aaron Donald right on the other side. And I'm not saying that Baker doesn't have Myles Garrett, but Cleveland, with all the draft picks that they've accumulated over the last 10 years, should be good. Should be good. And there's a lot of quarterbacks that have rode that carousel and have not been good. And I think they've got their guy. I really do. And I know, Billy, it hurts you deep in your soul or whatever you have down there in place of it that that Baker's the guy. But I don't think you can afford, or Cleveland can afford, to lose Baker Mayfield. I think he's proving himself as long as he's got swagger. But I do think on the other side of that he's one of these guys, right? When it's really good, it's really good. But when it's really bad, it can be really, really bad. And I think there's I mean, we're going to see it. I don't think the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl, and I could be completely wrong. But they are one of the hottest hands in football right now. I think it right now, and you can call me crazy, right now, this week, if they lined up tonight against Kansas City, they beat Kansas City. That's just how I feel. Yeah.
I'll take that.
I think I'm with Paul on that one, man. I think the Chiefs just find a way. Chiefs always find a way.
I don't think Cleveland's defense is good enough to stop.
Yeah,
the Chiefs.
I don't think Kansas City's defense is very good either.
Cleveland's defense didn't cover them at all.
I think you got to keep up with them. You don't have to cover them. You just got to keep up with them.
Oh, they definitely can't do that.
We'll see,
They
man.
are liability.
We'll see. I mean, the schedule favors you until week 17, right? Go beat the Jets. You beat the Giants. The Steelers are going to be waiting for you, but what Steelers team is going to be there? What do they have to play for? If they win tonight, they win the division. Are they really going to get – I mean, who do the Chiefs have left?
I don't know. I think they got they're gonna have the last 2 weeks or last week's a divisional game. Best you're getting from me.
Not only did they trade those draft picks, they just stunk as draft picks. Like, we didn't draft right.
Jeff says I'll put 200 on that. Okay,
GM wise, they should be all right. I mean, this Browns team, I'd like to say, I mean, they're a few years away from being serious contenders. If they could draft and bolster the defense, I think offensively, they got pretty much all the pieces they need offensively, from the line to their tight end situation to their receivers. I mean, I think Peoples-Jones is going to get better. I think Peoples-Jones was actually a great pickup for them. And, I mean, Rashard Higgins just works with Baker Mayfield in the system. And, I mean, Landry's there. They honestly don't even need Odell, I think,
No, they're better without him.
to keep shining on offense. I'd trade Odell to try to fix that linebacker situation that the Browns have. But, I mean, there's also a lot of injuries, too. I mean, Grant Delpit was a
Delpit's
round
out.
safety.
Williams is out.
But, I mean,
the problem that Cleveland's going to face is the problem that the Seahawks faced, which is the problem that who do we say? The Rams were going to face, which is the problem that the 49ers, is the fact that they have all this talent bunched together, and the Chiefs was the other team. They have all this talent bunched together, and they've got to pay everybody at the same time.
Yeah, what are you going to do when you have to pay Baker, the quarterback, who always takes a huge cap hit?
You got to pay Baker. The question is,
That's
can Baker can you go into a contract or a situation like the Steelers where Baker can create receivers as opposed to receivers helping out Baker? Is I think, Mac, your point.
Yeah,
I think he's a guy that can create receivers. I think Peoples-Jones stinks. I think he's terrible. I think this Hollywood Higgins or whatever the hell they're calling him.
I think he's average.
He's average, but he's benefiting from Jarvis Landry double coverage. And Chris Collinsworth, as much as I hate him, hit the nail on the head last night. It's a situation where if OBJ is in there right now, he's benefiting because you have to cover everybody one-on-one. And OBJ would be tearing up the league right now. I firmly believe it. I really do.
I think my only problem with OBJ is that pressure from everywhere, from outsiders, from Baker himself, of trying to force feed him the ball. I think as long as he plays within a system like he's doing now, he finds the open guy, hits him. then OBJ would be killing it right now. But Baker, for some reason, when he was in that lineup, it just seemed like he was trying to. I know Coach called this play, but I got to look at Baker first. Oh, there he is. He's down the field. Like I don't. That's why people are looking at his stats right now and going, "Oh, he's playing so much better without him." Well, the pressure of not having to listen to the media of, "Hey, how come OBJ only got 3 targets today?" Well, because our offense didn't push OBJ down the throat. That's all.
So here's a great point by Michael Page. Baker, Chubb, Denzel, 3 big guys that have to get paid next year.
But running backs don't get paid like they used to.
No, but they don't exactly all look like Nick Chubb.
No, but I mean,
Dalvin Cook and Kamara just got big contracts. I mean,
somebody's. I don't know, Ty. I'm sorry. Somebody's gonna pay or at least offer big money to Nick Chubb.
And you're right, DJ. I mean, if you're Chubb, I would be looking at Cook and Kamara's contract and be like, what,
he ain't Kamara. He ain't that, because that dude does different things. You just run the football. That dude's their whole offense at times.
He's the best all-around runner. The only one I can compare him to, I mean, Derrick Henry is probably the only one. I mean, as far as like straight running the football, if Nick Chubb plays 16 games, he's getting well over 1,500 rushing yards.
I got something for you, Mac. I'll give you James Conner, Benny Snell Jr., and whatever the hell else we got in our running back for Nick Chubb alone. And
I'm not doing that.
Well, see, then be quiet. Just
I'm
enjoy
talking
it.
about Kamara. I'm talking about compared to Kamara.
I like Nick Chubb. I don't think I like him a lot. Like, I liked him when you drafted him, and I thought, wow, man, I really hope the Browns don't realize what they have here, because I was hoping he would fall down a few more spots to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I remember they were coming out saying the other guy that the Patriots drafted was going to have a better NFL future.
Sony Michel.
Yeah.
He's had some injury issues, like some big time, and he's not as tough.
The Patriots, they don't promote superstars over there.
No, but he also fell into a situation where he had Tom Brady and now he doesn't. Like, you got Cam Newton, and Cam Newton's homies with James White or whatever the hell that guy is. Paul, you've been doing some research.
Yeah, going back to what you were talking about with quarterbacks being drafted pretty high, the best 2 I could see, Andrew Luck was drafted number 1 overall in 2012, and in 2014 led the Colts to the AFC Championship game. So within 2 years, took them right to the top of the mountain. And Drew Bledsoe was drafted he was drafted number 1 in 93 and took them to the AFC Championship in 96.
I don't know how you don't put Wentz in there.
Ty, for you, Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback before Tom Brady when the Patriots were pretty bad.
I understand that.
Big man too. What was Drew Bledsoe was like 6'7"? He was huge.
He was a big guy.
Paul Bunyan is what he was.
I mean, they put Aikman in here too, but like he was drafted in '89, number 1, and then
but they got like 1,200 picks that year.
And they had Emmitt Smith and Michael Irving.
Yeah.
So Paige is asking a question here. Questions for me: would you rather have drafted Dobbins, or are you happy with Claypool? If anybody watched our draft special, they saw how pissed I was when we drafted Claypool. I didn't even know who he was. Like, I thought that it was Deadpool. I thought I didn't know. I am happy with Claypool because, at least for now, because
I think you would have been happy with either or. Now, I think you're happy with Claypool, but I think you would have been okay with Dobbins.
I don't think, given the situation, that J.K. Dobbins is going to help the Steelers this year running game, because I just don't think he's – like, I think he's good, don't get me wrong. I think he's very, very good, and I would have loved to have him, and I would never know what Chase Claypool would be. But if you guys noticed over the last few weeks, they haven't said Chase Claypool a whole hell of a lot in the Steelers broadcast. He hasn't got a whole lot of attention, which is what Mike Tomlin, if you're a Steeler fan, or even if you're not, let me break it down for anybody who thinks that the Steelers are done. They haven't targeted Claypool a lot. It's been a lot of Eric Ebron. It's been a lot of, obviously, Deontay Johnson, Washington, and the like, and a lot of these little 2-yard passes, right? The Steelers are going to get back to the Steelers game. And I think that there might be something wrong with the running game. Obviously, James Conner banged up again. I don't know if he's on the active list for tonight, but it's going to be interesting because I looked at the list of running backs that the Steelers could potentially take wherever they land late in the first round. There's a lot of depth this year at running back, and there's who's a kid for Clemson.
You get Travis Etienne, you can get Chuba Hubbard, Najee Harris. I mean, those are 3 amazing running backs, better than possibly anyone that came out of last year's class. I think they're all probably better than Dobbins.
So you look at that, and you look at some of the kids that might come out. Is that Sermon kid? Did I hear that he was a redshirt sophomore or senior? Because we were at Fresh Prince when he was in.
Sermon should be able to come out.
I think he's a sophomore. I think he's a redshirt sophomore.
So he's eligible.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's eligible regardless. Yeah.
Tell me that if you're him and you put those numbers up as a backup, you're not saying, "Hey, let's roll the dice," because Ohio State's going to bring more people in.
That's all it is.
Give me that guy. I want that guy. I want that guy.
Cardale Jones 2.0.
What, him?
It's the same situation. Cardale Jones.
I thought you were just comparing him to like how good he is.
Just his situation. He came in, played really hot, and they won the championship.
You talking about the kid who transferred in from Oklahoma?
Certainly, yeah.
He's a senior, redshirt senior.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'll take him.
Okay.
I'll take him. I don't care if we take him in the 3rd round. That was incredible. But
They look real good this weekend.
please don't draft ATN. I read something that said he could fall all the way to the bottom of the 1st round, top of the 2nd, because that's how deep this running back. And I don't want to talk about
running backs go deep, or they don't go in the top of the 1st round normally.
normally.
Unless you're then you turn into a bust.
Great if you are. And I think also with Claypool going to the Steelers, I think it just fits their system. I mean, they got a pass first quarterback there, and I feel like Claypool really has taken the pressure off Juju. And I mean, they need a number 1 guy because I mean, in my opinion, Juju's not that guy, and I think Claypool slots into that. I think just fine. I think with the potential he has,
I think they're okay having 3 number 2s. You know what I mean? Like, if you've got 3 number 2s, you don't have a number 1, that's fine. And I think, the Steelers have been taking a lot of heat for passing 2 yards at a time. Tell me, and I asked Quinn the other day, and I'll ask you guys now, what is the difference between throwing for a 3-yard completion and running the ball for 3 yards?
Well, we did talk about it, and Coach Seidel chimed in. It was the beating that both lines take and the guy takes. That's really about it.
And that's
Run blocking, you're getting more of that grind and that beat on your lineman than you would on a pass play. So, I mean, but 3 yards is 3 yards sometimes. So
that's what I'm.
My bigger question would be: you talk about all these guys coming there. When, as a Pittsburgh fan, when do you finally pull the trigger as the organization and say we need to draft a quarterback here?
We already tried. Mason Rudolph is the guy. He was supposed to the 3rd round draft pick. Supposed to be the guy that fills in Ben's shoes.
I'm not even saying 3rd round. When do you try to get an elite college quarterback early and say that we're going to groom him to fill in for Ben?
There's not many franchise quarterbacks outside of Tom Brady that you find at 30. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say even Roethlisberger was elite in college.
Well, no, but I've said this a million times before.
It's got to be hard to get rid of a guy who is basically your franchise. I don't know what that's like. Not ever, but
we got rid of Colt McCoy.
Yeah,
he showed up last night.
Anderson, or
it was good to see him last night. Right?
So many things that you want to do right by your guy. You know what I mean? Think about how the bad PR that the Patriots went through.
Wait! I have a banner for this. Here's a perfect example. Carson Wentz caught up in the middle again. They just paid him $128 million, and he's not too happy about playing second fiddle to Jalen Hurts. And there's a lot of people on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon right now.
Yeah, he's
Ben Roethlisberger back up.
What's that?
That's who's going to replace Ben Roethlisberger.
He's going to Foxborough.
And he'll probably succeed very well.
That's exactly it. Jamie, you hit it right on the head. That's exactly what I said. I looked at him and I was like, well, if they don't want him, he's going to fit perfectly in a Belichick system. So
exactly. Wentz he's not a terrible quarterback. As much as I hate Carson Wentz being, a biased Cowboys fan, Wentz really isn't terrible. He's not playing well this year. There's been a lot of injuries the past 2 years for the Eagles, and I think Wentz could fit in really well, especially somewhere in New England with Bill Belichick, because he's still a great talent, and we saw him win a whole bunch of games.
So when your offensive line stinks, you have to do what? Have a mobile quarterback to escape the pocket and make plays on the run. And Wentz he was that guy, but he got banged up, tore his ACL. He was an MVP candidate before that. I mean, he was on a crushing year. The year they went to the Super Bowl, he was a top candidate in week 13, 14 for an MVP, and then he tore his ACL. So he's not the mobile guy he once was. It's not to say that he ain't mobile. I like him, so somebody will get lucky.
Paige says that he hears a lot of Steelers fans want Darnold. I don't know who you're talking to.
Darnold.
That's not us.
I also see if the Steelers were to draft a quarterback, like seriously draft one in the first round, I also see that relationship between Ben and that quarterback being like what Favre and Rodgers was when they drafted Rodgers behind Favre, and I just don't see Roethlisberger being happy about that at all.
No.
Hey, is that your girlfriend? Huh.
Yeah, but he's got to see the writing on the wall though too. I mean, you got to see that coming.
Ben?
And yeah.
Well, he did an interview today at DK on Pittsburgh Sports, and basically he said that I'm going to fulfill my contract. And like Chris said here, he's owed $40 million next year. So what they can do is they can technically extend his contract out and renegotiate his contract, so it's not a huge salary cap hit, which is what they usually do with Ben, and kind of give the under the table money to Ben Roethlisberger. I think next year's his last year. I really do. I think he's gonna fill out his contract and he's gonna be gone. But he's got to realize that when you create an offense like the Steelers have created that revolves solely around 7, that they can't leave it to what they did 2 years ago, or last year rather. And if your quarterback goes down, you're stuck.
Yeah.
Because that defense has a window. That has a shelf life. We've all seen great defenses. You look at Seattle. You look at the Pittsburgh. You look at the Baltimore defense. You look at who was it? Was it the Raiders a few years ago with Mack at his prime? I mean, they've got a shelf life.
Yeah, and I don't even see them. I mean, just from an outsider's perspective, Pittsburgh doesn't just go and get a guy to fix a hole. They kind of just go ahead and do the young thing. But at a quarterback position, maybe if you're what's the dude that's got a big hole on the side of his head? He got your backup quarterback. What's his name? Oh, Mason. So you're not really thinking he's going to do it. You're not going to go out and get it. I don't think you're going to go out and rent a guy because that defense is, which is what maybe a normal NFL team would try to do. But Pittsburgh's not really like that. They're not just going to go out and overpay for a quarterback just to.
I can see them rolling the dice on Rudolph one more year just to see what they got in him. You know what I mean?
Nothing in him, I'll tell you that now.
Okay, well, since you're such an aficionado of quarterbacks,
he stunk last year.
And I mean, NFL teams are known. They're not known to have loyalty forever to a guy.
No.
I mean, look at all the Super Bowls Tom Brady won them, and they got rid of him. Look at what Joe Montana did for San Francisco, and they did to him. You know, and just it's down the line. Those guys end up going somewhere if they want to keep playing. You know, or do they just say, "Listen, you ride off into the sunset, retire as this team, and go on your merry little way." So either he's got to decide, I'm going to play.
I don't think there's a chance that Ben goes anywhere else, though. I can't imagine.
No, he's done.
Not just because he's a Pittsburgh guy, but even more like his. I think his talent has dropped off. I don't see him going.
So
and
that's even more
reason
for Pittsburgh to go get another quarterback and say, Ben, you're not going to be around for another year or two. Help this kid get there so that our team doesn't stink. If you care about
listen, if you haven't read the Ben Roethlisberger biography, he does not care about anybody else but Ben Roethlisberger. And I'm his biggest fan. I love him. But, Paul, if you're in that situation, right, it's late in the year, you're retiring after the year, but you've got a lot of dollars on how many snaps you take, and they put in another guy that you've been helping to groom, like you said, there's no loyalty at that NFL level. It's a business. And Ben has to be his own business and say, all right, If you bring in somebody, I'm going to go to Arizona or I'm going to go to Cincinnati, wherever they go, Indianapolis, wherever, right? And I'm going to shove it up your pooper because you stuck me out to dry. It's the Joe Montana way. It's the Tom Brady way. Like, if they would have just left Tom Brady be, right? I think he would have retired. He would have went out on top as a Patriot. But no, they had to put those little jabs in. Is it Tom Brady or is it Bill Belichick?
Just leave that the hell alone.
I think we know who it is now. I think we're well aware of who it is now. and it, again, coaches. We have a lot of coaches that watch this show, and they will admit, the good ones will. It's the players that win the game for you. It's not the coaches. You can game plan and do as much as you want, but if the players don't execute, you're not raising any trophies anytime soon.
I remember the Patriots after they beat the Seahawks for the Super Bowl. That's when it all started. We all thought that they were going to get rid of Brady then. They weren't going to sign him back, and then he won 2 more Super Bowls with.
You had no business winning that Super Bowl, by the way.
Run the football.
Run the damn ball.
Yep.
Wentz to Pittsburgh is my nightmare as a Browns fan. Coincidentally, Matt, it's my nightmare as a Steeler fan. Seeing Carson Wentz in his Steeler jersey, because as a guy that likes Carson Wentz, he is not that good. They made the right decision when they picked Nick Foles. Steelers have too many needs on defense and O-line to draft a quarterback this year. I agree, and I don't think they will. But I think they take a huge step back and say, what's free agency look like?
You got to go all in until he's not there, right? I mean, that's if you're Pittsburgh.
Two guys I would have my eye on, Billy. 2 guys, Teddy Bridgewater, and I would have my eye on Jameis Winston. I really would.
Oh, please.
You saw what Jameis Winston said, right? Jameis. He goes, I wanted to go to New Orleans because I want to go to quarterback college, basically.
He's got one of the best guys in front of him.
Right. He's making $1 million, which, I mean, talk about the NFL standards. That's not a lot of money for an NFL player.
Give me the difference between Roethlisberger and Jameis Winston. Like, just looking at it,
Jameis Winston stinks. I got no problem admitting heavier. He's a terrible quarterback.
Well, he had eye surgery in both eyes this past year.
Didn't he pass for like 3,000 yards last season?
Yeah, he was 30 and 30.
Yeah. His interceptions were terrible. He was on that list.
Roethlisberger.
That list I pulled up was a top 24 quarterbacks drafted number 1 overall, and he was on that list, and then he wasn't good. There was a couple guys on there that were terrible. Freaking Jamarcus Russell was on there too, that big fat turd that he was. God, he was a waste of a draft pick.
Hey, a couple more things before we got to bounce, because I got swimming to cover. We'll get to that in just a moment as well. Heard it all day today. We saw it on social media. Is this accurate? Is because you beat the New York Football Giants, are you legit?
No.
Are they finally here?
No.
I think they're over the hump of being a joke.
It happened in 2007 too, when Jamal Lewis ran for 1,500 yards. It was the same situation. We were good one year, and the next year we stunk. Put back to seasons.
I think if they keep the pieces together, they'll be okay. I think they're over the hump of being.
To figure it out, Quinn. Starting to figure it out.
Figuring it out, but they're not legit yet.
Right.
Put 2 seasons together, and then I'll agree.
I think for this year, I mean, if we're talking about for the year, I don't know. I'm of the belief if you win 10 games, doesn't matter what organization you are or who they put in front of you. Winning games is hard in the NFL. You win 10 games, I think you're pretty legit.
I mean, define
the
legit.
Jets went to back-to-back AFC Championship games.
I don't understand. I don't understand the what he's trying to get at here. I think he's just trying to say something to say it. Are the Browns legit? I don't think you're legit until you have 3 winning seasons in a row. I think
there's a winning streak.
Yeah, that you get that under your belt, and then you can start building. Steve Leslie said it best, and I stand by it. They're improving. I don't think you can be legit until you are holding a Super Bowl championship in your hands. That is the ultimate legitimization. Is that a word?
Sure. Yeah, I mean that caps it all off.
Something to be said about just learning how to win games.
Consistent winning.
not to lose. Like that's
Right.
like, yeah. I mean,
'Cause let
right
me
now
tell you
they're playing
something,
not to lose.
Right. As a Browns fan, when the other quarterback has the ball and you have a 4-point lead and it's 2-minute drive, you're going, we lost. Still to this day, right? We still feel that way.
All right, tonight the Steelers taking on. Who are they taking on?
Bengals.
Bengals, thank you. What do they need to do to prove themselves? I hear this a lot now. The Steelers need to prove themselves as a top 2 team in the AFC.
Win.
You just win.
Convincingly.
You're already up there.
11
Who's
wins.
better?
I don't understand what else they have to do to prove
Who's
themselves.
better? Other than Kansas City, who's better?
That's it.
Yep.
Top 2 anyway.
There's a guy in here that thinks that the Buffalo Bills are legitimately better.
And
again,
Josh Allen's the second coming of John Elway, who apparently is Baker Mayfield as well. So no,
Well,
Bills stink.
again, back to John Elway. Ben Roethlisberger has been compared to him too. So, I think everybody at some point is compared to John Elway. It's the many faces. It's like the 7 things of Kevin Bacon.
7 degrees.
7 degrees of
Big Ben
Kevin
was
Bacon.
compared to him until he passed him his third year in the league.
Something like that. All right. And one last thing. Fresh Prince, Youngstown.com. Look at this, boys. NWO YSN t-shirts are now available. They make perfect stocking stuffers as well as a few other things we have. This awesome YSN campfire mug now available, down $10 for the holidays. So save yourself a couple bucks, buy 2, and you and your significant others can, I don't know, I mean, it's good with cold stuff in it too. I drink pop in it all the time and water. Paul, your family has a couple of these.
Yeah, the
I
girls
know.
love them.
And now we also have the YSN versus the World shirts available. So make sure you're checking that out. I don't know if we have the pictures of the YSN versus the World shirts. And also, don't forget about the sideline hat. Billy Mack has it on. That is not Fresh Prince Youngstown. That is, you have to come actually to HQ to get it. The winter sideline hats, and again, we'll show. There's the sideline hat. Billy
That was
showing
all
it
in unison. That was kind
That
of
was awesome. That was the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Merry Christmas to everybody. That's gonna haunt their dreams. I think that that's going to wrap it up. And make sure you go to freshprinceyoungstown.com. Check out all the YSN merch. Local. Everything we do, we try to do local. And then starting, I think, 2021, early 2021, not even a couple weeks in, we will have a brand new sideline store for YSN gear. The same stuff that our announcers will be wearing in 2021. Brought to you by BSN, powered locally by a local rep at BSN. I want to thank them for reaching out to us and getting us outfitted because it's been a while. We're in need of some new gear, so we're excited for that. I know it's Nike, it's Under Armour, and it is like a bunch of other stuff. So what are you looking at, Paul?
No, I was pointing to Ty. Same his red jacket.
Yeah, we got to get we got to get Ty a new jacket. I got to get Jamie a jacket. He's been wanting one forever. Mac needs a jacket. Quinn's got plenty. Right, Quinn?
No. I
Liar.
But
throw the gear.
Scamming the system.
Everybody's here for gear. That's all they're here for. And now, you know what I love is everybody out there in YSN stuff. Like they love us. They love what we do. I know we talk about it all the time, and we're super appreciative. But had a chance to talk to Jimmy Franciscelli today, and he was again just completely all over us and thanking us for all we do, and it's a sentiment and a testament to you guys. It's a testament to YS Nation as well. So with that being said, you know what time it is. It's time for the G. Burbick Farms What's Your Beef and Filet of the Day. Tonight we're going to lead off with the Red Rider himself. It's Ty Bartell. Ty, what do you got?
Well, my beef is still carryover from Friday. Lost my hard drive went bad on my laptop, so I lost all the stuff I had on it the last few years. So you can imagine for my final project for my one class how hard that was editing videos that I had no original footage of. But no, I mean that's my beef. But my fillet is it's all done. Don't have any anything else to do with any classes. Semester's over, big weight off my chest, and we have another great matchup there with girls basketball, Fitch and Mooney. We saw them play Saturday at Mooney, and that was a pretty good game before Mooney pulled away a little bit in the fourth quarter. But it's going to be another great game, I feel like, tonight, Coach Nurnberger and Coach Baker. So
go get it, big boy. James, what do you got?
My beef, I'll go with a lot of Penn State and that team up north fans. Seems around this time of year when their teams are, irrelevant, they become Clemson fans and they start rooting for that team in orange, and it just really irks me. I don't understand where it comes from. They can't beat us themselves, so they have to rely on Clemson to do it. Also, I hate T. Higgins. I'm winning by 3 points in the fantasy semifinals right now. I need him to roll his ankle getting off the bus tonight, so that'd be great. Filet, I don't know, went to Beat Ups today. Had some good food. Can never go wrong with some good wings.
Love it. The wingy dingies. All right, Quinn, what do you got from home?
I got I don't have beefs, but I got a couple fillets. I'm gonna give a fillet to my fantasy team for beating Paul, because I like Paul's misery, just like the Jamarcus Russell comment. That always makes me feel better. Thanks, Paul. I'm gonna give
Cheater.
see a fillet to the game of basketball. 129 years ago today, it was invented, so that's always fantastic. Browns are 10-4. That's always great. And
You're a cheater.
I don't know. I think that's about it. I think that's all I got so far.
Paul, do you have a beef?
It's not beef. It's like a whole cow.
Championship bound, Paul.
Yeah, whatever. Listen, I'm rooting for Ty all day. I hope Ty smokes you.
Not a chance.
Probably not. You cheater.
Not a chance. Anybody else want to make a deal? I could use some help, I guess.
Yeah, no.
What do you got?
Not at all. So, yeah, Jamie, you and I got to face off now in a consolation game. But anyway,
I'll help you.
Yeah, of course you will, cheater. My beef is, God, it's with my team. It's with the Raiders. Just horrible. I mean, they had a shot to get into the playoffs. I know they still have like a 2% chance, but they stink. They were terrible, and it was disappointing. And then, to rub salt in the wound, Waller, who's on the cheaters team over there, has got to put 30 on me. So yeah, it wasn't good. It's terrible to sit there. Listen, it's not as bad as being a Browns fan over the years, but I mean, still, it's horrible. I was just like, come on, guys. They're promising season. They beat the Chiefs, thinking, okay, we got some things rolling. And then, no, they just go downhill. So, but my filet is it's a prime cut today. It's a really good one. Unfortunately, about 2 weeks ago, there was a fire in the community in South Range, and a house burned down, and there was 3 students that all lived there and their mom, and they lost everything. And since that's happened, somebody gave them a place to live, and people have been like bringing in clothes and all kind of different things. And today I got to go with the one English teacher and deliver a big box of clothes, a turkey, a Christmas tree for them, and gift cards. It was a total of $1,000 in gift cards that people just had gave money and said, here, listen, give this to these people. They really need it. And the girl was just speechless when we got there today. I mean, she didn't know what to say. The high school girl was just in awe that, people are out there. They had bags of clothes all around their house. They still hadn't gone through that. People were just donating to them. So it was nice to be a part of that, even though I was only the delivery guy and, got to tell her Merry Christmas. And it was nice to see the smile on her face and her siblings' face that they were excited for that. And, we all take things for granted sometimes, and it takes something like that to kind of put in perspective. I couldn't imagine losing everything you own, like everything. Like you literally are standing outside in what you were wearing the day that happened, because everything in your house is ruined. And not only as a parent to sit there and think about you've got these people you're responsible for, but as a kid, I mean, how lost the kid would be for that. So it was nice to see that there's people out there that some of these people didn't even know them, and said, here's $500. Here's $100. And it was for them. So it was a good thing to be a part of today. And it still shows you that people out there care. So it's nice.
Love it. That's one of the cool things about seeing from our standpoint. We had it happen in Palestine a couple of years ago, and
I remember that
everybody came together. And it's one of the things that we will do as a team moving forward. It's probably a little bit late this year, but if there's somebody out there, if you're watching this and there's somebody out there that you think still needs a good Christmas and isn't going to have a good Christmas, especially kids, it's less about sports at that point and more about the right thing to do. We want to deliver for you. So, we'll put together the funds to do it. So message us privately, whether it's one of us or somebody on the YSN crew. We'd still love to do that. That's one thing that's near and dear to my heart is I believe every kid deserves a good Christmas and every family deserves to be together at Christmas. So, Paul, well done. Well done. Mac, you're up.
Yeah. My beef is just, it's real simple. There's a couple people that I have in mind, and they watch, so they know who they are. Stop putting Baker Mayfield in a category that it just pisses me off, and it really hurts me because I got to come on here and like throw Baker under the bus week in and week out, and in spite of just him playing pretty well the last few weeks. And he is getting a lot better. He's no longer trash. He's a maggot in the trash. All right, so he's upgraded. All right, a little bit. He's
What?
I said it. So he's still got a long way to go. Don't crown him. He ain't winning the MVP this year. Let's hope he wins the Super Bowl. That'd be awesome. But you guys are putting him on this category if he's a top 2, top 3 guy. Listen, Browns fans are crazy. All right, I'm first in line to be crazy as well. So I understand that. But yeah, chill out with that. Don't come at me with, hey, did you see what Russell Wilson did against the Giants? Oh yeah. Now look at Baker, what he did against the Giants. Like that, like we do, like we use that. No. My filet is the fact that the Browns are 10-4 and we are basically outside of a meltdown here. Looking forward to a playoff berth for the first time in 17 years. So, which I know Poe earlier said like 40, but it's really 17. So.
We're not even going to get started. Like, that could be my beef every single day. I love Ron Potesta. People don't think that I love him enough to give him a job here and have him spout out the dumb stuff he says every day. He is very well informed. And I wonder, and this is kind of breaking down.
We need to get him this. Hey, Alexa, when was the Browns in the playoffs? And she comes back and tells you, and then there you go. There's Potesta's research for the day.
I handed him a shirt today. I handed one of the YSN versus the World shirts today. Anthony was on the other side. Anthony got an NWO shirt. Ron got a YSN versus the World. He holds it up. He goes, "What is this? What is this?" And I'm like, "It's a T-shirt." Well, what does LFG stand for? It can stand for anything you want, Poe. It's up to your discretion. Again, separation, right? Separation. It's. We talk about it all the time internally. Love him to death. He is the YSN basically mascot. 3 hours a day, that guy gets to go on and be the face of YSN. But like when he says stuff, like you know how I get when he bets, because he doesn't bet. It's not an actual bet. It's just he puts out point spreads and picks. You got to bet on it. Like there's no value to it because listen,
nothing to lose.
I told him. Listen, there's going to be some dude one day that is going to come and break your kneecaps because you gave him bad information. Just bad information. Oh, no, I'm not getting me. No, he's going to break your kneecaps. Like, you got to be careful.
I got it.
You believe a guy who's 51%?
I got what his LFG is. Let's fake gamble.
Well done, sir. Well done. All right, let's get my beef and filet so we can get out of here. I got some swim meet with a lot of our local teams here to attend. So that being said, my beef is going to be just complainers, and I'm not talking like the Cleveland fan. And this is not Billy Mack. I've seen a lot more of these Cleveland complainers than I care to even bring to attention. Your team is good. Your team is very good. Relax. Take a breath. Enjoy this. because I don't know if you guys know Mac as well as we do. He's enjoying this. He's just like stirring the pot a little bit, riling you up. He's playing the hand he's dealt. He is living the dream, doing what he does. See, exactly, right? So everybody's buying into
me?
Yeah, everybody's buying into Billy Mack being this guy that hates Baker Mayfield. He is loving every minute because it's like when you gamble against your team. Like when you put $10, I put $10 against the Steelers and they win. Do I really lose? Like, if they lose in real life, I get $10. But if they win in real life, my team wins. It's a win-win, right? From that scenario. Billy Mack is playing with house money. Because if Baker stinks, then he looks like a genius. But if he doesn't, his team is 10-4. And where do we sit? We're at 10-4. So
on the verge of the playoffs.
My thing is, just because you watch the show, don't try to be a Billy Mack. There is only one. I promise you. There is only one Highlander here on this show named Billy Mack, and there he is. There he is right there with the YSN sideline hat on. My fillet, though, I was a little emotional last night when I saw this at about halftime of the Browns game. Dave Portnoy, who everybody knows from Barstool Sports, put out that he's going to be putting money behind small businesses who need it to survive, which is phenomenal. One day, I hope that we get there and we can do the same thing. But there was one entry that took me completely out of my element. It is a 3-time cancer survivor, restaurant owner, who is now facing bankruptcy because of where we're at in COVID. She's in New Hampshire, I think. She does not have the availability for outdoor seating because there's 2 feet of snow on the ground. On top of that, like I said, 3-time cancer survivor. And when she overcame cancer, the last time, I believe, as I understand it, her restaurant flooded. So you've got cancer survivor, 3X, your entire restaurant flooded, and now you're being pushed out because of COVID and restrictions and no indoor dining. My fillet is there's people out in the world that will lift her up. There's people out in the world, and I say this all the time, as a local business, as someone who supports local constantly and pushes people like these guys on this staff to promote local, there's people out there that are going to help. It's called the communities that we live in, that we thrive in, that we engage every single day here on YSN. It's that time of the year, right? It doesn't take much to look over. If you see a dad with 3 kids at a dinner table, at a lunch table, pick up the tab. $20, you'll make it back, and it's called karma. Support each other. Do what it takes to have that little bit of warmth in your heart. Like the Grinch had at the end of that story. It's that time of year. I hope everybody can do just one thing. If everybody does one thing to pay it forward this time of year, the world will be such a better place when we turn it over, when we get past COVID. So if you're out and about, make sure you do it. Situation like Paul talked about, if you know a family in need, we want to help. And we might not be able to help financially, but we might be able to. We don't know. We're here to help. We help the schools. We're helping local businesses. We want to help YS Nation as well. So if there's somebody out there that that needs help this Christmas, I know these guys. I know the 6 guys you're looking at on your screen will step up, and we will make sure that Santa Claus delivers by December 24th, which is Thursday, by the way. But tonight on YSN, we have that was almost bad. Girls basketball, Fitch versus Mooney. Ty, you got that one. Boardman versus West Branch. Alec has that. Mark has Heartland and Latonia. Anthony has United and Jackson. And we have DJ Yoakley, this guy, swim guy extraordinaire, apparently. We are going Canfield, Southridge, Columbiana, Springfield, and Salem. That'll be at YSU. Quinn, you got something to say to drive us out?
He's trying to point. He's putting a score up there. Whatever, cheater.
Jamie, did I forget you?
What?
Did I forget your beef?
I did mine.
Okay, I was just making sure. See, damn it! Come on, James. I finally do my job, and I can't. I get hell for it.
It's all right. Don't worry. You won't forget about us tomorrow when we're coming for you, boys. It's Trivia Tuesday.
Trivia Tuesday.
Jamie,
I don't have to worry about nobody.
New World Order is here, and they're
Let's
alive
go.
and well. 3-peat coming up tomorrow.
Update, guys, on Wednesday.
I'm Peyton Manning. Let's go.
Here's what we're doing. Tomorrow will be our last show before Christmas. So,
What?
yeah, because we got 3:30 games on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah,
Unless somebody wants to carry that out. If that's the case, knock yourself out. But I will be
You'll be in
announcing with
Salem.
Steve.
Yeah.
So tomorrow will be our last game, our last show before Christmas.
Queen's
So
on lockdown. You can do something. Him in that mansion he's living in over there.
My mother's basement. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah. We could do a Christmas Eve show.
you want to do a Christmas Eve show?
It's Thursday, right?
That's up to you guys.
Everybody in? Is everybody in for a Thursday show?
I was giving you a day off.
I could go an hour on Christmas Eve between 3 and 4. So
Yeah.
you name it, we could be here. Or
All
I
right.
could.
Tired of my family by then, so yes.
Christmas
already
Eve.
am.
All right, there it is. It's official. Coach Seidel wants a Power Hour Christmas Eve show.
Yeah.
He
We
gets
don't
it.
want him
Come
coming
on.
after us.
He has to come on though.
Yeah, he has to be
Yeah. You got to come on, Coach.
Maybe he can be our Santa Claus.
I'll
on.
even come on. There we go.
Get that good Wi-Fi. Let's go.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
it is. Make it
There it is.
official. All right, so
He's
here's
gotta wear a
the
Santa
deal.
hat.
He's got to wear a Santa hat, and also I want all of us here who are going to be on to bring a secret Santa for a local student athlete in the area. You don't have to actually get it. You just have to bring it. So, for instance, Santa brings Bo Brungard XYZ. That's what we're going to do. We're going to play that game. So what can one of our teams in the area or one of our student athletes utilize moving forward? So that's going to be – I'm excited now. I thought you guys definitely be out for Thursday. I'm jacked. So that's called loving your job.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
what
take
it is.
Wednesday off to prepare for a big Thursday
Thursday.
show.
We might have a
rolling
2-hour.
into Christmas.
Might have a 2-hour on Thursday. Why the hell not?
Make
See,
up for
let's-
the Wednesday show.
Yeah, let's see where it takes
I
us.
mean, we go an hour and 20. What's 2 hours?
Yeah, what the hell? I mean, these people swimming are gonna be like, "Where's YSN?"
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's gonna do it for our show. Thanks to our sponsors, thanks to our panelists, and especially thanks to you. We'll see you tomorrow for Trivia Tuesday right here on the network. Bye bye.